Hey there! Today we will talk about hormesis. It is the beneficial response our body experiences when we are exposed to low doses of stress. Specifically, we will discuss the differences between hot and cold hormetic stress and why they benefit you. Hot and cold. There are a huge range of benefits to this. But first, let's break down what we mean by hormetic stress. Hormesis is the idea that exposure to low stress doses can benefit our health. Increasing your stress levels might sound counterintuitively, but hear me out. You know I harp on about stress being the root cause of so many diseases, but this is a slightly different level of stress. Our body is alert when exposed to stressors like heat, cold, toxins. Our cells interpret these stressors as a threat and respond by activating various protective mechanisms. These mechanisms can include the release of antioxidants, the activation of heat shock proteins, and the upregulation of cellular repair mechanisms. This is why it's so important, the upregulation of cellular repair mechanisms. Now, let's discuss the difference between hot and cold hormetic stress. Hot hormetic stress, as you might expect, involves exposure to heat. Positive stress can come in many forms, such as spending time in a sauna or bathing in very hot water. When exposed to heat, our body responds by activating heat shock proteins. These proteins help to protect our cells from damage and can even promote cellular repair. In addition, heat stress has been shown to increase our levels of antioxidants, which can help combat oxidative stress. I'm sure you've heard of that before. On the other hand, cold hormonal stress involves exposure to cold temperatures. This can be achieved through cold showers, ice cold baths, or even spending time outside in the cold. When exposed to cold, our body responds by activating different mechanisms. For example, exposure to cold temperatures increases the production of a hormone called norepinephrine, epinephrine, which can help to improve mood and cognitive function. Cold stress also has the increased ability to increase the activity of brown adipose tissue, a type of fat that can burn energy and improve metabolic health. Now, we all want that, don't we? Now, so why are these types of stress so beneficial for our health? As I mentioned earlier, exposures to low stress doses can activate our body's protective mechanisms, enabling a strengthened immune system, improving cognitive function, and extending our lifespan. Studies have shown that regular exposure to hot and cold stress can have a variety of health benefits, including improved cardiovascular health. Both hot and cold stresses improves cardiovascular function by increasing blood flow and reducing inflammation. Reduced inflammation. Exposure to hot or cold stress can help reduce inflammation in the body, which is a critical factor in many chronic diseases. You've heard me talk about inflammation being the root of all diseases, and including weight gain. So the hot and cold can improve metabolic health. Both hot and cold stresses improves metabolic health by increasing insulin sensitivity and promoting the growth of brown adipose tissue. Improve cognitive function. Exposure to cold stresses improves mental function by increasing the production of norepinephrine. Meanwhile, exposure to heat stress improves mood and reduces the symptoms of depression. So doing hot and cold, it makes sense, doesn't it, really? It is, of course, it's important to note that there are limits to how much stress our bodies can handle. Exposure to high levels of stress levels can harm our health, causing oxidative damage and increasing inflammation. In this case, less is more. However, with low doses of stress, our body can activate its protective mechanisms without causing harm. So there you have it, the difference between hot and cold hormetic stress and why they're so beneficial for our health. If you're interested in trying out hot or cold stress for yourself, it's essential to start slowly and gradually build up your tolerance. Remember, the key is to expose yourself to low doses of stress rather than overwhelming it. As I mentioned earlier, exposure to cold temperature can increase the activity of brown adipose tissue or brown fat. Brown fat cells are specialized for thermogenesis, or the production of heat. So when exposed to cold temperature, our brown fat cells activate and burn energy to generate heat and keep us warm. Now, what is the difference between brown fat and white fat cells? Well, white fat cells are the most common fat in our bodies, and they are primarily responsible for storing energy. When we consume more of the wrong foods, causing stress loads to increase, our body stores the excess energy as white fat. However, when our body comes into balance, our body can break down the white fat cells and use the stored energy. Brown fat cells, on the other hand, are specialized for thermogenesis, as I said before. They contain a large number of mitochondria, which are the powerhouses of the cell that produce the energy. So when exposed to cold temperatures, our brown fat cells activate and burn fuel to generate heat. This process is called non-shivering thermogenesis, which helps us to stay warm in cold environments. So what are the benefits of activating brown cells through exposure to cold temperature? Well, there are several. First and foremost, the brown fat cells can burn energy, which can help to improve metabolic health and promote weight loss. In addition, studies have shown that people with more active brown fat cells tend to have a low body mass index, BMI, and lower levels of insulin resistance. Brown fat cells produce a hormone called irisin, which has various health benefits. For example, irisin can help to improve glucose metabolism, reduce inflammation, and even improve cognitive function. Some studies have even suggested that irisin may have anti-aging properties. Of course, it's important to note that not everyone has the same amount of brown fat cells, and some people may have none. However, research has shown that exposure to cold temperatures can increase the amount of brown fat in your body. So if you want to activate your brown fat cells and increase the amount of brown fat cells you have, consider taking cold showers, swimming in a cold pool, or simply spending more time outside in the cold. In summary, brown fat cells specialize in thermogenesis, can burn energy to generate heat. Therefore, exposure to cold temperature can help activate brown fat cells, which can help improve metabolic health, promote weight loss, and even anti-aging properties. So if you want to improve your health, consider incorporating some cold exposure to your routine, and also include some hot and cold. Then you get the best of both worlds. Thank you so much for watching. Speak soon.